Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming to learn more about Ships Mercado. This time I'd like to introduce Rebecca Pebley-Starkey, and she is in charge of Mercado, and so I'm going to bring her on stage, and you will have an opportunity to hear about Mercado and ask any questions you might have.
Hello, everyone.
So, Rebecca, we've got a question here. We've heard that there's a new Mercado coming. Can you tell us about what's going to be new in Mercado?
Yeah, so we are changing platforms. So that is one of the reasons why right now the online Mercado is shut down. So we'll be launching the new website. The goal is the first week of September. But with it, we're hoping to also have some new merchandise because you guys almost wiped us completely out with the June summer sales. So thank you to everyone who has purchased some items.
So if there's items that we think that might be good for Mercado, who can we reach out to see if it's something that can be added to the inventory?
Yes, so anytime you guys would like something new or you have an idea of something that you think would sell really well, email mercado@ship.org, and we monitor that email, and then we can work with our supplier, Joyce, on seeing if it's something that we would be able to do. So something new that we are going to have is regional mascots. So that's something that some of the regions will be able to see at NELA, at President's Summit. And then for everyone that's attending CCLP and the surveys, there is a survey for the t-shirt contest. So this is our second year having the t-shirt contest. So last year we had 2 different contests with 3 finalists in each category. This year we did 1 contest with 58 submissions. But in that survey, you guys will get to vote for your top 7. And then the top 7 from that selection is then going to be sent to the RVPs, the board, and internal staff. And we're going to narrow it down to the final 3. And then those 3 designs will be available for purchase at the Mercado. Where it becomes a contest for them is whichever design sells the most t-shirts and decals, either sells out first or has the most in sales on Saturday, will determine what they place regarding first, second, and third. So completing the survey will help us greatly. All of the designs were submitted for fellow peers, so they're all SHIP members. But you can't see who submitted what or from what region. We want you guys to purely vote on which design you think is the most awesome.
Oh, and we have a late joiner that didn't hear when the designs would be available to view for the t-shirts.
So the t-shirt contest survey is currently going on now, and it'll only be available till Tuesday. And you can only access it through the app. So if you go on the CVent app, search for CCLP. If you don't have it, there one of the icons at the top of your screen will say surveys. And the t-shirt contest survey link will be there, and that's where you'll be able to see all of the submissions.
How do I order items for my chapter?
So if you want bulk items, email Mercado at ship.org. Depending on what it is, it might be something that we might already have, so we can assist with that, or we can also work with our supplier and get those items made. So a perfect example of that is Anthony Yahara from, oh goodness,
Region 4.
Region 4. So for the RLDC that was in Miami, he had sunglasses made for his region and was able to brand them ship, but then also had his region on the sidebar. And that was something that he worked with Joyce and then our finance team on getting that process so that the costs then hit his budget. We are also going to have some of last year's inventory. So any of the contest t-shirts and decals are going to be available at President's Summit. So those items also may be something potential that you can purchase for your chapter to use as giveaways or prizes at any events that you might attend.
How long does a custom order like what Anthony did usually take?
So any order, it depends on where it's coming from, but typically you want to order at least 6 weeks out. That way it allows 2 weeks for proof, but then also production and shipping. So 4 to 6 weeks is mainly your main goal, without having to pay for expedited freight, which can definitely make it even more expensive.
Or make that expense frightening because you've got that expedited freight.
Yes, I've seen some scary costs.
So what if I want something that's specifically for my chapter? What can I do?
So again, you'll email Mercado at ship.org, and then I'll connect you with our supplier, and she can work with you on getting branded items specific for your region. We are gonna, with the new regional mascots, we're gonna have some merchandise at a national convention, doing pre-orders at NELA to where you might like those items better than what you might have in mind.
Okay, there has to be more questions out there about Mercado. We've run out of questions. Will there, oh, here's a new one. Will there be a 50th anniversary special at National Convention this year? Or a 50th anniversary special item, I should say.
So right now we have the lapel pin and the decal that can be purchased. We did have a t-shirt, but we're going to be utilizing that for something else. Depending on, well, and I take that back, we actually have another item. We have a gold stole that once we get the new website launched, we have some inventory left of that where it is specifically for the 50th anniversary. Depending on what item would determine what branding that we would have on any new items for National Convention. With convention being so close to the end of the year, some of the feedback that we've received from our Mercado Advisory Board is that they would rather have regular branded ship items instead of things that are specifically geared towards the 50th anniversary, because they felt that they would get more use out of those items. But if you have any suggestions on items that you would like to see, please don't hesitate to email mercado@ship.org.
And here's another one. Will the t-shirt contest designs be for sale at National Convention, or can they only be ordered in advance?
No, so they will be available on site at National Convention with the so we'll do pre-orders, which last year was our first year trying it. So instead of paying for shipping, you can pre-order the t-shirts, the decals, and then pick up at National Convention, because then you're guaranteed the size that you want, because like our National Convention t-shirts and then the t-shirt contest designs, there's only going to be a certain number of inventory of each size. So if that's something that you want, I would definitely recommend to do the pre-order, pay ahead, and then pick up your items at National Convention.
And since National Convention is always around Halloween, do you think there'll ever be a Halloween designed t-shirt?
That I do not know. But if you have any ideas, send them my way.
And does Mercado accept cash, or is it strictly cashless?
We are strictly cashless, but with the Square platform, it does Apple Pay, Google Pay. The website will potentially even allow you to do payments.
Can we get custom embroidered items? So if there's an item that is in the Mercado that we see that maybe we want something added to it, either like names for our executive board or our chapter name on them, can we get that done?
Yes, it would just be an additional cost. So like on the polos, you could have that added. It would just be an additional cost for you to have that on there.
Great. And I think we've got...
The Mercado is also where you'll buy your chapter tablecloths, any pull-up banners that you want. I want to say business cards are also an option. And then we always have the stoles on there, because I know lots of chapters like to purchase the stoles for their members.
Okay. What is the best time to buy graduation stoles?
Anytime. Don't wait though until, oh my goodness, graduation is this Friday and I don't have one. Don't do that. But definitely try with shipping, normally things would get shipped out pretty quickly, but since post-COVID, I know shipping sometimes is a little delayed. So I would give yourself at least 2 to 3 weeks to ensure that you would receive the items on time if you're ordering them for a specific event.
And this is we're gonna wrap it up with this 3-part question here. When will we know the results for the t-shirt design contest? What is the deadline for voting? And where's the link, or what is the link to vote?
Yes, so in the surveys, so if you download Cvent, go to CCLP, and then select that event, there will be at the top of your screen surveys, and that will actually have all of the surveys for all of the sessions. So we definitely want you to complete as many as possible, if not all of them. But in there is the t-shirt contest. So you'll be able to review all 58 submissions, and we want you to identify your top 7. So once, and the voting will end on Tuesday the 16th. So after we identify the top 7, then the RVPs board and internal staff will identify the top 3. And then at President's Summit, those top 3 designs will be announced. And then we will have the pre-orders available on the Mercado website.
And the absolute final question, then we got to go for the closing session, is do I need to get approval for my swag designs?
If it has the ship logo on there, then yes, it needs to match our brand standards. As long as they match brand standards, you are fine. If you're wanting to change your brand, then you would need to get in touch with marketing.
Great. Well, Rebecca, thank you very much for all that information. And everyone that attended, thank you very much. And we are now at the end of time for this and want to send everybody over to the closing session. Thank you all very much.